Hello again. Welcome to another episode of the Uranium Market Minute. Today is Friday, April 8th, and this is episode number 102. My name is Justin Huhn. I am your host. I'm the founder and publisher of the Uranium Insider Pro Newsletter, the only investing newsletter that focuses solely on uranium and publishes on a regular monthly basis. Thank you again for tuning in. As always, nothing in this video is intended to be investing advice. I'm not your financial advisor. This is not financial advice. Please always do your own due diligence when it comes to investing and always take responsibility for your own choices. All right, another very, very exciting week for uranium, and the week closed very strongly. I'm actually looking forward to going through the charts with you guys today. Going to look at some weekly charts and some interesting monthly charts and share some correlation charts with you that I thought were very prescient. So thank you for being here. I always appreciate all of the YouTube comments that you all are always leaving. A lot of them in jest, but it's all good. Do appreciate all of that. So thank you. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and you will be reminded whenever we publish a new episode, which is almost every day. We do have a short week next week. Friday is Good Friday in the American markets. So Monday through Thursday, we'll be trading. And as we've seen over the past, actually probably close to 3 months, we've seen kind of some smash down in the markets on Friday. There seems like the jitters, the overall jitters for the markets and for the investors are subsiding a little bit. A lot of people, generally speaking, over the past few months haven't wanted to remain long or too long on the Friday close. So we've seen kind of a smash down at the end of every week. Uranium closed very strongly for the end of this week. So looking forward to those charts. Before we do that, let's just run through the daily scoreboard here really quick. Everything is looking positive. Flows are happening. Money's being raised. Pounds are being purchased. So let's get into those numbers. All right, the spot price of uranium sitting currently at 63.50 mid-market, up again today. Sprott purchased another 400,000 pounds yesterday. Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. They raised another 23.1 million yesterday. So they continue to raise a lot of money. In fact, they've raised $750 million this year alone. So 3 months and a week, got about 13 weeks into the year, and they've raised $750 million, and they're about halfway through that 3.5 billion ATM. So year to date, they've actually purchased 13.4 million pounds, which of course is an astonishing number. They have a record high net asset value of 3.51 billion. So their NAV of this trust is quickly approaching the NAV of their precious metals trusts. Pretty incredible stuff from Sprott. They closed at a slight discount yesterday to NAV, 0.72%. The trust did trade up intraday, so they probably raised a bit more cash today. They currently, as of the open today, they sat on 75.2 million in cash, which is enough to buy about 500,000 pounds, considering they're going to keep a decent amount of cash on their balance sheet at all times. Turning to the ETFs, URA reported no change in outstanding shares. URNM, an increase of 100,000 shares. That led to 8.7 million in new mandated buying. Interesting point. URA yesterday closed at a 1.4% premium to NAV. URNM closed at a 2.2% premium to NAV. This is interesting. What that essentially means to us is that there is a lot of buying happening in these vehicles, and the buying is surpassing the ETF's ability to purchase the underlying holdings at a pace that keeps them close to NAV. Very interesting data point I wanted to share with you guys. So far this year to date, the inflows into the two ETFs have given rise to 668.3 million in mandated buying so far this year. URA surpassed $2 billion in asset under management for the first time ever. These things continue to fly. Money continues to flow into these two ETFs. All right, trading action. We had a huge day yesterday, and today we saw that a bit of profit taking the first couple of hours of trading, but boy, did it bounce back. So why don't we go ahead and take a look at the charts. So before we look at the daily and weekly charts for URA, U.UN, and perhaps a couple of other large caps in the space, I wanted to highlight this very interesting chart of uranium relative to gold. Now, this was brought to my attention by a couple of folks that are both on Twitter, at Shovel Stocks and at U_AG_, gentleman named Scott. Now, Shovel Stocks also has a YouTube channel, and he interviewed Scott, and this interview was fantastic. So I'm going to post a link to that interview in the video description, and you all should check it out. And Scott shared a number of interesting charts across the space, and this one really caught my eye. So this is uranium trading relative to gold. Now, even though gold has stayed pretty strong, The gold price has stayed relatively strong since its recent run up from a couple of years back. Uranium clearly is coming back. And as we can see, it traded to an extreme premium to gold during the run up in 2007. And we are right up against this multiple point of resistance, originally point of support back in 08, a bit of resistance back in June of 2010, and then major resistance in 15. And now we're hitting that resistance again. I fully expect that to break through. This is a monthly chart. This is a long-term chart. And sometimes I just really, really enjoy zooming out, getting a big picture perspective of where this can really go. On that note, why don't we take a look at the monthly chart for URA? Huge. Now, of course, these, unless you look at market cap charts for the market cap itself, and you can't get as accurate of a picture because the number of outstanding shares changes, right? Especially for the ETFs. But for the ETFs, you have an interesting scenario. During the bear market, as the selling is persistent in this vehicle, they actually are redeeming shares, not issuing shares. So this, in my opinion, is a more accurate relative picture of the long-term potential for the sector than you would have by looking at, let's say, a mid-cap stock that has possibly even done a share consolidation during this period, or a reverse split, as it's also known. You have reverse splits, you have massive share issuance. And so you look at a historical chart of something like Energy Fuels, which had a major, what, I can't remember the number of the consolidation, but people are like, Energy Fuels is $972 here, and it's going to go to $240. No, it's not. It's not. I mean, it still has major upside potential here. And I'm not trying to bash the company at all. I'm just giving you a relative example that if you look at individual mining equities that have had to issue a lot of shares to stay alive, or have had to do capital raises over and over and over, potentially even done a reverse split in the case of Energy Fuels, this is not an accurate picture of where the stock might go in this run, okay? Because the share count is different. But if you go back to URA, because they have a redemptive element to the way that this vehicle functions during the bear market, the shares are redeemed. They sell down their underlying holdings and buy back shares. And then the opposite happens in a bull market, which is what we're seeing with record high numbers of outstanding shares. So with all of that said, we have major ways to go. Again, we are still in this beautiful looking Livermore accumulation cylinder. Look at the monthly volume for March, just absolutely crushing any previous month. So huge volumes coming into these things. And then looking at the daily chart, we had some nice recovery in URA towards the end of the day. Like I said, we had some dips happening in the beginning of the day. And then we had those dips being bought, and URA traded up, closing at almost a 1% increase on the day. So great to see. Let's take a look at the weekly chart. And of course, we had a nice strong week with a nice hammer candle for URA. Turning to the Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. Again, just an absolute sector outperformer, printing a beautiful hammer to end the day. And again, this weekly chart is going to be stunning. Oh, look at that. Just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Uranium continues to chug higher, and the spot vehicle is the vehicle of choice for exposure to the pure play commodity. Clearly, we're seeing good volumes happen here. This week, we saw the volume a bit down from last month, but still just a stunning chart. The breakout, we haven't seen a down week. We saw one down week mid-March, but just absolutely huge for this Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. And then Cameco, again, another a beautiful green candle for the week. However, on the day, I believe it traded down slightly. Let's take a look. Yep, down almost 1% on the day, but this has been a sector outperformer when it comes to the miners. So not going to fault Cameco for a bit of profit taking to end the week. All right, mailbag section. So as I mentioned yesterday, we were planning on issuing bulletin today for a new position, and we did so this morning. Now, the trading action for this position was sufficient to get us to issue a second bulletin. Now, we did end up getting a position in this new position that we're very excited about. Now, a representative from this new company that we now own and we recommend is going to be joining us for our April members webinar. That is going to be on Monday, April 18th. If you are a member, please join us. It's going to be an event to not be missed. If you can't make it and you are a member, we do record these webinars, and that will be up for your viewing later on that day. This is a very, very excited position. In fact, I haven't been this excited about a new position in a very long time. So this is, we're very pleased that we were filled today, and we're very pleased to be on board with a number of other very intelligent investors in the space. And I just wanted to highlight that this is the type of attention that we give to members. We are on it every single day, and we issue these bulletins that are timely. And so hopefully our members did receive those bulletins in a timely manner and were able to position today. If not, keep those limit orders in for next week, and hopefully you'll get on board. This is definitely an exciting play. All right, so what a huge week for uranium. It's great to see the equities recover. I think we actually called the absolute bottom for the equities relative to the metal, and the metal continues to be strong, but the equities are coming back. Metal has been outperforming. I'm going to have a very in-depth weekly update this weekend for the watch list for Uranium Insider Pro members. Look out for that on Sunday prior to the open of the ASX market. That is something we update every week, and it's something that you should check, because whether or not I do a video, I will likely do a video this weekend for that. I do update all of the charts of our focus list holdings. And I do usually add some commentary on the markets and what to look out for the coming weeks, and kind of the weekly takeaway for what happened in the market. Very exciting space right now. Breakout in the price of the metal. We're looking at 11-year highs for the spot price of uranium. The fuel cycle continues to move up very, very strongly. And obviously the equities are following suit. So it's great to see the sector break out again and catch up to those November highs. In some cases like Cameco, we're seeing them breach the November highs. Very positive to see. So I hope that you all have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you again on Monday. Take care. Cheers.